Hello. Welcome. Point 7. I know a bunch of you are just starting to get on, so I'll give you a chance to pop on. I'm really excited about today's call. So we're doing something a little different, and we're offering this to our entire community. And the intention is for all of you that are here on this call is what do you want to release today? What are you ready to let go of forever? What are you willing to bring here to this gathering and leave behind? So for those that are new to my work, new to our community, my name is Tera Maxwell, and I am the world's #1 affluence coach. And when I say affluence, we're talking about the flow, creating affluence from the inside out. Because when you have affluence internally, when you're experiencing that freedom, you will see it externally. That is what I know to be true. And so what we're going to do, this is not a typical webinar releasing what. So go ahead and share in the chat who's here and where you're all from. It's great to get a kind of a feel for where you are. There's a lot here on the call, so I'm super excited. And while I'm waiting for you to chat in that, I'm just gonna pull up my notes. I was meditating this morning and I downloaded the 77 codes to upgrade you to affluence. I see there's Kim from Billings, Montana, Terry, hi, from Quakertown, Amy from Los Angeles, Suzanne from Washington, so all over. Oh, we have Ben, hi, I know it's early for you, Ben, from New Zealand, also close to the ocean, and Anna from Italy. So yeah, we are connecting from all over the world, literally. I'm here in Costa Rica. I just got finished surfing, so my hair looks a little wet. Maria from Toronto, Naomi from Colorado. So yes, I feel all your energy. And for those that are new to this work, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. So Richard's here is from the UK. Hello, welcome. I'm honored that you have all carved out this space and this time for yourself to upgrade to affluence. You are, just by showing up, you are saying yes. You are saying yes for change. You are saying yes for letting go of what no longer serves you. And everything, I want to give you a little context first. Everything is energy. Just as right now you're seeing this feed, which it boggles my mind that I can be sitting here in the jungle. And, it's pretty rural where I'm at right now. And somehow there's electronic impulses that are organized, and you're able to see an image. You're able to hear what I'm saying, and I'm able to also get messages back from you as you're putting here in the chat. That is amazing. It's energy. It's energy. 100 years ago, 200 years ago, it would have, or 1,000 years ago, it would have seemed impossible. And it is the same with the work that we co-create together, with the work that I facilitate, because I can feel the energy field. So I'm just tuning into the energy field, to what beliefs that you're holding on a subconscious level. Now, often what you're going to hear today, we can say intellectual, right? On an intellectual level, we we can believe that. But what I'm looking for is, what are the programs that are running your life on a subconscious level? And these programs are programs that you've picked up from childhood, from church, from family, from school, from past incarnations or generational imprints, what resonates with your belief system. But what I know is that when you're born into this body, you already have some of these energetic imprints. And as I see Sean, hello Sean from Canada, and Carla from Chicago. And so it's just like, I often use the metaphor of the computer. I can remember taking my Apple computer to the Apple store when I was in the US. And this technician, the way he described what he did, I was like, we did the same thing. We did the exact same thing. I was giving him my 2-year-old, 3-year-old computer, and it had started to slow down. It wasn't working as well. And you know that feeling when you get this brand new computer and it's fresh? There's no, like, it doesn't have too much stuff on the hard drive yet. And so it's the same with our very sophisticated divine biocomputer. So we get these false programs and viruses and malware and just things that kind of just laden it down. And you know that that's true if you have an intention, or there's something, you have a goal, and you find like you want to go this direction, but you keep on detouring. It's like you're in a loop. So that's what we're looking for. And so just as if you, if I were a computer technician, you gave me access to your hard drive, and I've done this before, where you can have someone over in India or some other place in the world can actually go into my computer and see the screen and see what's going on. Well, it's the same with the work I do, because I can tune into your energy. So that's I just wanted to explain what we're doing, and what you're going to hear are affirmations. And so if you feel inspired, you can write them down. These are really good. These are not just affirmations. These are codes. So they're light in going to hear. There's a resonance that you are tuning into. And so as you update your divine operating system, and then afterwards, I'm going to be looking for where are the blocks, where are those, and getting, that's my specialty, is getting to the root of those blocks. So let's see, I'm just going to just take a deep breath, everyone, and take a moment to get grounded. What I'll share with you, for those that are also newer to our community, my expertise is finding those blocks. I had so many blocks in my life, and I often joke, I do have a Ph.D. My expertise is in generational trauma and healing from a cultural studies perspective. And yet I often joke that I have a Ph.D. in overcoming self-sabotage. I dropped out of 7 colleges before I finally committed and went back to school. And so I know what it's like to feel when you know that you are destined, that you are designed for something greater, that you know that you have a grander purpose here, not grandiose, but that you just feel that stirring in your heart that you're designed for a greater purpose, to share your gifts with the world. And you're not yet in a full alignment with that. So I know what that is like because I have been in the very, very depths of despair, of low self-esteem, drug addiction in my teens and 20s. I was a stripper in my 20s because I didn't believe that I had value. I didn't believe that I could tune into my gifts and share them with the world and create abundance, just doing what I love. I didn't believe that that was possible for me. And so those were programs that I had running me. And as I released those blocks one by one, and I connected to confidence, to worth, to deservingness, to love, it's just connecting to our divine self. As I did that, my life changed. One by one, I met an amazing man. We grew up together in many, many ways. And even then, releasing those blocks to eventually manifest our dream home and dream life here. Because even as I finished my PhD and was building my company, and I'm sharing this because there may be some of you that can relate. Life is good, right? Life is good. There's many blessings. And yet I had a feeling when I was living in the East Coast that I was still settling. That somehow we'd gone on this path, and it wasn't 10 years before. We kind of gone off course, even though on the surface it looked like the American dream. And so there was that we had a big reboot, and we redefined the kind of life that we want to live. Our motto is, we thrive as a family to serve and to inspire others. And it became clear that we were not thriving, even though we had the surface success. We weren't thriving in the US. And so we came here where we have lots of organic food, lots of sunlight, lots of oxygen, because we're surrounded by trees and plants, just a high vibration. And from this place, I'm able better to serve, because I'm not just trying to stay afloat. So I share that because there's a reason why you are here. And I invite you to ask yourself, where are you out of alignment? To bring up right now your dream. What is your vision for your life? Where do you want to be a year from now? So I want to just bring that up into your vision, and so that we can kind of feel, I can just even feel the energy shift, the hope, the possibility, the joy, the freedom that we all desire to co-create together. So my intention is to dive in and to clear what else is standing in the way. And if you have any questions come up, I'll also open up later for Q&A. So these affluence codes, let me just put them right here. Okay. So just have permission to connect with all of you. If I close my eyes, I just want to tune inward. Okay, I'm going to share these codes right now, and then we're going to do some clearing afterwards. I'm single focused. And notice as I say these words, what resonates with you. Notice what triggers. Notice where you feel it in your body. Notice where, if you have the critic or the ego that says, no, that's not true. Just notice all of that, because we are going to align, with your permission, with this new pattern. So this is literally an update to your operating system. I'm single focused. I embody my life purpose. I serve freely. I create wealth now. I have the Midas touch. Everything I touch turns to gold. I am discerning where I spend my time, resources, and energy. So that energy of discernment. I am present. I am intimate with money. I love money and money loves me. I am generous. I follow my heart always. I listen to my intuition. I'm connected to my intuition. I am intuition. I am divine. And I see some of you that are popping on right now. We're just starting the energy portion, and you can go back and listen to the first part later. I am abundance. I am wealth. I am affluence. I am the universe. I am infinity. I am now. I am focused. I am clarity. I am love. I am acceptance. I am the universe. I am earth. I am unified. I am integrated. I am wholeness. I am complete. I am tuned in to my signature affluence frequency. I'm connected to my angels, guides, and aspects of my higher self, all aspects who connect to the one and only true God. I am courage. I am bold. I am decisive. I am the light. I am brilliance. I am influential. I am inspiring. I am the observer. I am the creator of my own life. I consciously design my reality. I am responsible. And feel free to just close your eyes and tune in to this activation. I am spiritual. I am breath. I am seeing. I am hearing. I am feeling. I am knowing. I am purity. I am to divine will. I obey my intuitive guidance system. I am open. I am perceptive. I am forgiveness. I am compassion. I am generous. I am persistence. I am the flow. I am embodied. I am grounded. I am stillness. I am brilliance. I am committed. I am harmony. I am bliss. I am joy. I am the creator. I am perfect. I am my life purpose. I am aligned. I align with my original agreement now. I remember. I am. who am. So as we tune in, a life scan. So the intention here is to release any emotional blocks, any energetic imprints through each decade of your life. And your part is giving permission and just saying, yes, I release. I release, I let go, I permanently let go this emotional block now. Because it is a choice. And then we're looking for any ancestral patterns. So this is that generational baggage that we carry around. It's not even our stuff. I think that was the big light bulb for me when I first got tuned in to energy work. So on the maternal side, paternal side, going back 100 generations. Releasing that baggage now. So we're looking for any deeply entrenched programs that you're ready to let go of. Any limiting beliefs, any malware. So I also want to have that energy of detachment. And then releasing anything that we have taken on from others, any of their judgment, concern, worry, just releasing that now. Okay. And then we're going to do another life scan in childhood, adolescence, through each decade of your life. So then we're asking them, have we gotten to the root? So often we carry around, and this is something that I often feel, we carry around these emotional toxins. And sometimes we're not even, it's not even that we're conscious of it. It's just, you know, we haven't forgiven, we haven't transmuted it into light and love. And you know that you have it if you still get triggered. And when I say triggered, if you come across a person, place, or thing, event, even political event, and it brings up an emotion, anger, rage, regret, jealousy, like, you know, hatred, just judgment, like all of these different emotions. I mean, there is such thing as just feeling pure emotion. Like, you know, if you see someone getting hurt, you know, it'll provoke an emotion. You'll feel angry, or you'll feel the sense of justice. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the deeper thing when we feel triggered. And so that's what we're looking for right now. What you'll find is, as we release these blocks, that you just won't have, you won't experience the triggers anymore. The more that we do this work together. And so anger is coming up, and rage and regret. So releasing that on the cellular, molecular, atomic, and subatomic level. And then releasing shame on all layers and on all levels, down to the cellular, molecular, atomic, and subatomic level. Self-loathing and hatred. Letting that go. Loneliness. And I release, that's something that I was tuning into this morning before coming to this call. And this loneliness, often we have this fear, fear of being seen, fear of being visible, fear of truly stepping into our greatness. And why? Because it can be lonely at the top. We face criticism, like there's all these other things, and it could even be something from previous generational, from before this entering this mortal body, experiences that memories that you still have. So so I'm releasing that feeling of loneliness down to the cellular, molecular, atomic, and subatomic level. Releasing, is there any other, let's see, grief and regret, and feeling vindicated, releasing victim and martyr energy, and it's safe to let that go. Is there anything else? So I want to take all of these, so if we were just to put this all in a box, we're taking, let's just imagine we all just collectively took all of this gunk, this energetic gunk, and put it into this box right now. And we want to release it across all time, across all generations, across all dimensions, parallel realities, previous incarnations. Eliminate, transmute. So just imagine this box that we have this huge, this bonfire, and that we're standing all around, standing around this bonfire. We're just throwing it in, and it's being transmuted into more light and more love, more brilliance. And we are collectively raising our vibration to more light and more love and more knowingness, tuning in to higher self. Okay. And so we're releasing, no, there's no resistance, so it's feeling good, open to receiving. What I want to do is go, if you have any in the Q&A questions for me, to please post it below. I'm also going to check in the survey often. So when the first time I did this, an Affluence Upgrade, it was a learning moment for me, because typically what I do is you will share. I'll invite you all, and this is also how I run my group calls, is you will post what it is you want to create in your life, or what are the challenges that are showing up for you. And then what I do is I tune into it and see, are you aligned with it or not? Because if you're not aligned with your vision, it's not going to happen. It just isn't. There has to be a vibrational match. It's just you're working with the universal laws. And so one of my gifts is, you can tell me what your dream is and what your vision is, and I can feel if you're aligned with it or not. And so that's why it's not surprising that as we do this work, particularly with my clients who really step into their vision and commit into our group program, A Life Academy, or when we're working one-on-one, it's not surprising that they get such radical results in their life because they're aligned with it. You know, I think yesterday one of our clients, Lynn, was sharing that I think it was even on a call like this. I can't remember. I'll have to ask her kind of better with the details. I don't know if she's here now. But she was sharing that as she shifted, she stepped into A Life, and it was a huge, it was a big leap, because it didn't make sense financially in terms of like, this is what's coming in and this is what this is what the investment is. And as she stepped in, I think like shortly afterwards, she got an increase. Like she said, it was equivalent to $1,000 a month increase because her energy shifted. Her energy shifted. And so I always love stories like that. I know I'm not in control of how that shows up, how when we step into this vibration of affluence, how that flow is, and I'm never surprised. And so it's all about that alignment. It's the same with some of my clients who have been wanting to meet their life partner for years, and either were meeting people that weren't really great match, weren't really very evolved, let's just say. And as they release the blocks, it's not surprising that they meet a really amazing life partner. They feel worthy and deserving. They're open to receiving love. Like all of these, so all of these codes, imagine if that felt true all the time. Like if you stay on this vibration. So I see one, oh yes. Sandra also said from Lakeland. Hi, Sandra. So go ahead and post what questions that you could put in the chat box or in the Q&A. We have multiple ways to share. What are the questions that you have for me and about this work? Because this is a portion of, we're doing the this activation and raising your vibration, and then I'm opening up for Q&A, because I find that often, as I explained in the 7 Steps to Freedom Blueprint, what has just happened is you have shifted your vibrational frequency. And so everyone experiences the energy differently, and it's all perfect. So there's no attachment to how you experience it. So for some of you, you'll feel lighter already. You feel more confident. You feel more motivated. For others, you might not feel anything right now. You're like, because perhaps your mind is still like in high gear, and you need to go to sleep, and let yourself go to sleep. I mean, tonight, go to sleep, let your body process the energy. One of my clients had shared that she didn't really feel anything. But then the next day, she's someone that doesn't usually cry. She was in the car with her family, and she just started crying, and she's like, what's going on? It took her 24 hours to release and to let go of the emotions. And she shared recently that she's in our Freedom Collective. She just got her first 2 paying clients. So those are the kind of shifts that happen, and it's all perfect. You'll also notice that you might just trigger something. You might normally react in one way, and yet you don't react in that same way. You're like, wow, normally this would actually make me feel angry about it, but instead I'm just observing. So there's a whole range. Yes, I see Steve from New York. Hello, Steve. And so Kim asks, how do we give up anxiety and overwhelm? Great question. I want to pass on peace and love to my children and family and break the cycle. Pass on healing. Yes. So I feel that. I'll share with you, Kim, that energy, that was the reason I began on this path. I mean, I think it started earlier with even just the doctoral work that I did on generational trauma, kind of like how things get passed down intergenerationally. So I had that in my mind, but I came from a very, in some ways, conservative background, and so I wasn't even open to energy work at the time. And when I have 3 children, first child was fine, but after second, and then you have another, and feeling rage and feeling like my mother, and I love my mother very much, but feeling that, when you ever say like, oh my gosh, I'm acting like my mom or your father, and feeling like this has been passed down, and I want to break this cycle of emotional abuse that we had experienced in my my family line. And that is what guided me to discover this work, to be open to clearing the blocks. And so, first of all, I think with the anxiety and overwhelm, if you're feeling anxiety, it also could be you're just very sensitive. You're sensitive to energy. So I used to feel anxiety a lot, and even to the, to where I wouldn't want to go to parties or be out because it didn't feel good. No wonder I used substances when I was younger, because it was a way to numb out, and then I could handle. So once you start to tune in to energy, if you're feeling anxiety, you could just be very sensitive, and you're feeling other people's energy. Often I can feel other people's stuff, and so it feels like anxiety, but it's just other people's stuff. They're emotional toxins, and so just kind of reflecting up in your energy field. So that's one thing with the anxiety. It's also a gift. It's a gift. It may be your invitation to take that next step. It may be your invitation to inquire, like, why do I have this gift? How can I heal this? For overwhelm, I find that we're overwhelmed when we have too many thoughts in our head. And so one of my gifts is being single focused. And if you're a mom and you have like all these things that you're doing, and you're swirling it around, like all the different activities, or if you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, like if you're thinking all of that at one time, it creates overload. And so what I share with you, Kim, is that first of all, it's really important to meditate and to tune in, to get grounded, and to connect to higher self. And from that place, ask, what is the next step? What do I need to do today? What is my inspired action today? Because if you just focused on that one step today and just knocked it off your plate, and then the next thing, just really being here in the moment. What is the next step? And not thinking about like, what do I have to do 6 hours from now, or tomorrow. So I think that, those are some tools, and a lot of this we dive deeper into in our year-long transformational coaching program, a mastermind, and A Life Academy, to giving you the tools. Because first we've got to release the blocks, release the programs. And so that's something that happens, like you have just experienced that right now, and then receiving that support on a weekly basis. And it's more than just the energy work. Many of you, if you've experienced and gone to other energy healers where you feel a shift and you feel a little better, but it doesn't suffice to help to teach you how to shift your thoughts, to stay in this vibration. We have created a new vibration. You have tuned into a new vibration. And so it's really important that how you show up how you're thinking, the actions that you're taking. So there's a lot of tools to stay at this vibrational resonance. So I hope that, so there's like, it's on different levels, and I would suggest for you to, you're welcome to PM me and to see like, what is that next step? If it's something that you're ready to heal. What I have found in my own life and with the clients that I work with, most people just, like, you look at the year and you're like, you know, I changed this one thing in my life, or, you know, I broke this one habit. And, you know, you look at the whole year, and the work that I do, it's every week letting go of the way that you've been showing up every week. So I can look back at myself a month ago, and I'm not the same person. That's what I'm talking about, this kind of accelerated transformation, so that a year from now, you look at yourself, Kim, and it's like, wow, that anxiety and that overwhelm is not who I am anymore. I set healthy boundaries. I am confident. The people, even just the people, the friends, even your love life, like everything. We just did an Affluence Upgrade, and this embodies everything about your life. And so it takes practice and mentorship and being in a community to stay often at that vibration. So I got some other great questions. Let's see here. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So Roxanne asks, how do I stay in my own energy and not let others affect me so much, such as my spouse? Okay, that's a really great question. First of all, I would say it's really important to have that support. So make sure that you're surrounded by, you've got to surround yourself in a community and be around others that are at a high vibration. It's really important because we're harmonic beings. So just like, I mean, I'm not like an expert in music, but what happens is if you're with someone that's at a lower vibration, and I mean, it's kind of seems hierarchical if we talk like that, but they're at a different vibration, and that's who you're surrounding yourself with, and you're watching TV and the news and all this, you're going to lower your vibration. It's going to feel really hard. It's kind of like, you know, when you're in the water. I can remember when I was first trying to understand all of this, when I was first beginning this journey, I remember working with a therapist who did emotional freedom technique, and she would always remind me that first I got to put on my life vest and stay at a high vibration. Well, she didn't say that, but put on my life vest before I can go and assist others. So it sounds like, Roxanne, you're still in that place of trying to stay afloat, and it feels hard when you're with others that are down. Now, let me share with you, as women, as men, we have the power to consciously design our reality. You have the power to consciously design your reality. And it takes waking up and really understanding this resonance. Most people are asleep. And most people think this is just whatever's showing up, this is the reality. I'm sharing that because you have the power to shift your family and even the people that show up in your life. And I'll share with you, because when you get crystal clear on your vision in your family, your vision of your marriage, the vibration of what that marriage is, what that relationship is like, the emotional vibration of that. When you get so clear and focused and you create that spiritually, others either will rise up to that vibration or they will fall away. Now, there's some challenges with this because number one, you have to be unattached. So it's being in the energy of detachment, which that can be a practice. A lot of times we talk about manifesting and creating abundance, but then we still get in that, getting energy, or it's not happening yet and we're not unattached. So it's practice that there's an art to this being, to being affluent. There's an art to this. But when you get really clear about your vision, and you clear the blocks that are holding you back, then you have the power to shift it, Roxanne. You do. I know because I've done it repeatedly. I've done it in my marriage. At the same time, you have to be prepared. You have to be so detached that that this is the vibration you're creating, and it's either this person's showing up to it or I'm creating this with someone else. Like that's how committed you have to be to creating that vibration. And most people often aren't willing to take that leap. We had that kind of wake-up call in my relationship when I was guided to get crystal clear on my vision. And because of it, because I was so clear, because I was unattached, because I was willing to separate, I was willing to be alone, and I looked at everything. I cleared all the blocks, that any attachments and just limiting beliefs I had, beliefs what other people might think. If we parted, we separated, even though he's a great guy, I had to be so clear on the vibrational resonance that I was creating. And because of it, it activated him. It activated him, and he stepped up, and he's very grateful. And he's like on his whole, he is so on purpose and so connected to higher self. But if I just settled, we wouldn't be in that same place. So it takes a lot of energy and focus to create that. So I hope that it's something that we dive more into in A Life Academy. It's the person who is most awake and convicted in the dream rules the dream, because it is a vibrational resonance. That's why it's so important what we focus on, and what media, like what we watch and what we don't, what we allow into our energy field. Because the person who is so convicted in their energy controls the dream. And so that's in our partnership, it's in our family, and later as we master our vibrational resonance, it's in our community and on our planet. But it takes spiritual responsibility. It takes being so courageous and connected to higher self. And so what I would say, Roxanne, yeah, PM me if you want some more support around this, because it is not, it can be more challenging when we're trying to do this on our own, because our mind and our ego gets on detours. So it's a great Great question. Great question. Everything is about your vibrational resonance. That is the number one focus. More light, more love, staying at a high vibration. It is so important. So Kutina asks, she had some very bad abusive relationship, and let's see, I'm trying to look. She says, okay, so a lot of things have happened and I have no umph. So there's been a lot of abuse. And I have no umph, no will, no fire in me to move forward, and I'm not creative anymore. So there's a lot of trauma in her past. And so there's a lot of things around sex. I love nature, ancestors, universe, energy, positivity, and love. But my question, how do I begin to step into my greatness? Not being a procrastinator, late for everything, can't get started or finish on a project. I have a book in me too. Okay, that's a great question, Kutina. So, first of all, I invite you to book a call with me, and to step into A Life Academy. When you surround yourself with support, when you are able to stay when you're getting the support to stay at a high vibration on a weekly basis, A Life Academy, and I know it's my baby. It is the most transformational coaching program on the planet. It's not just you go to a retreat or a 3-day event and you feel really good and then you go back home. So you receive that support on a weekly basis. There are weekly calls where you're releasing whatever's showing up in your life. You're releasing those triggers. So it's weekly calls. You get monthly private sessions with one of my coaches. So especially for what you're sharing, if there's sexual trauma and that in the past, then it's really important to get that handled on a one-on-one, because some of it can be a lot deeper. And it is so, I'm gonna say easy. It is easy to release this. I've had clients who have had huge sexual trauma, just horrible stories when they were children, I mean, in their past, and have gone from broken to feeling confident, being open to love, attracting a partner who cherishes and honors and respects them, who feel alive and motivated. I have seen that time and time again. And so I know that it is possible for you. So I had a lot of craziness and abuse when I was young, and I healed. I completely healed. And so it's why I can share some of the stories that I share, because I don't carry with me shame anymore. I've released that, and I'm able to share from a place of love, in a place of service. And so I know that it is completely possible for you, and it is so important, if this resonates with you, if this is your next step, that you take that leap. Because if you do, your whole life changes. And a year from now, you look back and you're like, I'm not that same woman. I remember I have a client, she's actually an amazing energy healer now. But we first had a session together, and it brought up afterwards, she recovered a memory of her father, and trauma with her father. She didn't even remember that. And so when we had a couple sessions after that, she released it. It's gone. And so we live at a time when we live in an accelerated pace. And And then the other part of it is, so it's getting that support, stepping in to, when you set your intention of what you want to create, when you set your vision of what you desire, then it's so important to take that leap, because it's a vibrational resonance. When you leap into that vibration, then everything else changes. So yeah, definitely book a call with me. It's a great question. And the procrastination, I was the biggest procrastinator. When I went back to school after dropping out 7 times, I had so much shame. When I applied to grad school, I'd have to like send 7 different transcripts, like all over. I went to school in Hawaii, Humboldt State, like all these different schools. It was crazy. And it's a habit. It's a habit. So I want you to think first, and this is for all of you. Close your eyes and see yourself a year from now. Who are you becoming? What is your life a year from now? How are you feeling? Where are you living? If you're to wake up a year from now, where are you waking up? Who are you talking to? What is your day like? So you are creating this spiritually. And then ask yourself, how do I ensure? We pay insurance for lots of things. How do I ensure that this vision becomes a reality? How do I set myself up for success? And if you feel inspired that I know I need mentorship, I've been seeing Tera's emails, I've been watching these webinars and different things that she's been putting out, and I know that this is my next step, take a leap. Take a leap. Get on the phone with me and take that leap, because you are worth it. You are worth it. I've had clients that literally had 5 different jobs to make ends meet. So willing, you know, if you had to sleep on a couch to step into your dream. So I hope that's helpful for you. If this resonates with you, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. And you're here, and I love you too. But part of this intention, as we're going through these questions, is that in announcing that A-Life Academy, the doors are closing tomorrow night at midnight. And so I'm opening up this opportunity for those of you that are on the call. If you want to step in to A-Life, you can book a commit to your vision call and put down a $500 deposit towards the program. A-Life Academy, it's a 1-year program. It's $12,500, 5 payments of $2,500, or it's $10,000 pay in full. And so if you've been seeing the emails go by, if you know, it's only for you if you are so committed to stepping into your vision this year. Because A-Life, it's a mastermind. And the clients that are in A-Life, they are doers. They know that they are designed for a greater purpose. I have clients that have always wanted to be a photographer, and now that's what he's working on. Or a wedding couture designer who got clarity about her vision, or who want to be a year from now living in freedom, who want to attract their life partner. So all of these things. And they know. One of the things that I found is look at what do successful people do? What do the affluent do? And they have mentors. You hire a coach. You surround yourself with others that are a high vibration. Everything is about vibration. So, so if you're listening to this and you want to book that call, I'm supposed to actually share with you the link to that. I think you'll see it in the mail, an email afterwards if you want to book that call with me. So let's see. So Sean asks, how do we keep or get our mind quiet when we are, oh, I love it. I love this question. Sean just stepped into A-Live, so I love it. How do we keep or get our mind quiet when we're experiencing more and more and more miracles and we are so excited we can't sleep? I love it, and I can feel the resonance of those words, Sean. So thank you for sharing that. Yes, first of all, I know that you shared with me that you're working on a book. So if you are so excited, follow the flow. Ask, what am I supposed to do right now? Ask your higher self. Perhaps there is information that needs to come out of you, and that it's time to write it down. And I could share that because I know you shared with me that's what you are working on. Just follow the flow. Follow the flow of that. I mean, certainly you can meditate. And I'm so glad that you are so excited and are so responsive to the work. And that's the first thing that comes up for me when you ask that question. Sometimes I'll wake up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and if I can't go to sleep, it's like, what do I need? I'll just often I like to write in Evernote because it doesn't feel like work. It feels like a journal kind of, and it's a little bit slower. And so I will write in there whatever I'm downloading. And so I'll just ask, like, okay, I can't go to sleep. What do I need to speak? What needs to come through right now? And it might be just that energy that just wants to come out for you. So you can share if that rings true for you. So Amy asks, how do you get clear on your life vision? All right. I know I want more abundance and debt relief, but don't know how to get there. Okay. Awesome, awesome question. So let me just have some of my green juice. So first of all, clarity comes from taking action. But what I would say for you first, Amy, is what I notice with clients as we work together is as you release the blocks, you just get clear. So often we have contradictory beliefs or some other things that are like in the way, but as we release that and you just connect, as you connect to higher self, you connect to remembering. In fact, I would say for you, just say out loud, I remember, I remember, I remember. I remember my life vision. I remember my life purpose. It's safe to remember. And I just feel a little tightness right now. It's safe to open up my heart chakra and allow my heart to heal. So that feels really good. So first of all, first we've got to clear the blocks. And that is why, like, we just did some very deep clearing right now, Amy. And so the reason I designed A-Life is because it's not a one-shot deal. Imagine that every week you tuned in and whatever was showing up in your life, you let go. And so every month you look back and it's like, I'm not that same Amy. So it's just, you're just shedding off the layers. So it's that kind of focus. And then taking the next step to step into that new vibration. So the next part of it's clearing the blocks and then taking action. All you have to do is ask your higher self. And often I find with clients is that at first it's just, you might have, yeah, like your energy is weak on, I trust myself. I trust myself. Let's do this for everyone. I trust myself. I believe in myself. I can do this. I'm worthy and deserving of success. I'm worthy and deserving of a great life. It's safe for me to move forward. I give myself permission to move forward. I'm free of family beliefs that limit my truth. It's safe for me to take a leap. There's a lot of blocks about safety. And so like we just created a new vibrational pattern, but then there's some other things here that are still like holding you back. So first we want to clear that. And then the next thing is as you get clear and you trust yourself and you trust your intuition and you're listening to your guidance, all you need to do is take the next step. What is the next step today? And what I see so often is the one thing that is the liability of the work that I do is often, you know, I'll get on the phone with you, with potential clients, and I'll feel that stirring in their heart that this is the next step. And I'll feel that because we don't want you in a life unless this is your next step. This isn't about a sale. This is about your transformation. This is about you fully integrating with your higher self and doing the work that you are called to do. This is bigger than you and me. This is me just showing up and taking the next step and sharing this call with you, sharing this energy work with you, and tuning in and inviting those that also can feel this resonance and can feel that this is the next step. And the liability is when you listen to your ego, the mind that talks you out of it, that comes up with reasons and excuses. And even what is reality, which I totally understand. But can you feel that resonance? When you stay consistently in this resonance, you are powerful. And it is a responsibility. I feel this urgency that more and more of us step into this. I feel it in every fiber of my being. And so all you need to do is follow your heart and take the next step. And as you do that, you get more clarity. You get more clarity. I thought that we just came here to Costa Rica to live our dream. That we wanted to live more simply, not just be on this, you know, making a lot of money, getting a bigger house, like the whole like craziness. At least that we were on. I'm not saying everyone's like that in the US. To live more simply, to redefine what affluence is, to live sustainably, to be surrounded by oxygen and have lots of light and freedom and lots of time to play and to make a difference. So I just thought we were going to raise our kids here. And then I came here because that was the next step. I felt it. And then I got here and more has been revealed. More has been revealed. And, you know, I'm not liberty to share the whole grand picture, and I actually don't even have the whole pic. I know, I have a sense of it. I have a sense of it. But I only know the next step. Do this call. and share this. Go surfing, don't go surfing. Spend time with your child, play a game today. I mean, it's literally what is right in front of me. This is the next step. And that's how we connect to our vision. And I think sometimes also we think life vision is, we get like we think it has to be like way out here or really grandiose. And sometimes it can be simpler. Just a second, I wanna make sure that we get the recording, because I'm just realizing we might not have enough space. And I wanna make sure you got a replay. Okay, sorry about that. I wanna make sure that we have this all taken care of, so you guys have the recording. So we say life vision, like I know that I am here to serve and inspire others. Like that, I'm here to bring more joy into the world, and to teach about flow and about effortless affluence, and the details, you know, it just more gets revealed. The question was, I want to know more about abundance and debt relief, but I don't know how to get there. So first we got to clear the blocks, create the new resonance. There's so much here for you, Amy, and often we just can't see it. We're looking, what I see often, most people, you're looking like this. And what I teach in effortless affluence, I teach expansion. You connect to infinite possibilities. And so there's a solution for you that is better than what even you and I could dream up together. And so first it takes getting in alignment with it, releasing the blocks, surrounding yourself with others who are also at a high vibration, and ensuring your success. And then asking, what is the solution? What is the solution? But I think for you, what I'm feeling is that first we got to do the preliminary. We can't first start doing calculus until we just learn like the basic, the basics first, addition and subtraction. So Deletta asks, how do you shift from debts to richness? Okay, that's a great question. So let's release that. So for all of you that are on the call, I release all forms of bondage. I cut the cords to all forms of bondage now. I pay my financial obligations in full. I release the shame about debt. I'm living in solution. So first we're just going to we're doing some energy work around it first. So I release shame on all layers and all levels, down to the cellular, molecular, atomic, and subatomic level. Okay, so there's a couple different layers with this about financial debt. Debt is just debt. Whether it's $10, it's relative. $100,000, $1 million, $5 million, it really is, it is relative. And so when you can have debt and not feel triggered by it, you're free. I'll say that again. When you can have debt and not feel triggered by it, you are free. And then you get the lesson and you don't need to create more of it. So first of all, if we understand that we're the conscious creator of our own life, then it's understanding that, okay, I've created this because there's a lesson that I want from this. There's a lesson because I obviously, I know because I've had lots of lessons around financial debt 101, 102, and we create the lesson until we get it. And so first of all, let's work on, Deletta is releasing, and Deleta's an A-Life and a VIP client, releasing the blocks around that. So there isn't, so you just don't have any trigger about it. And then the second part of it, so it's the energy work, but the second part of it is focusing on solution. Focusing on, because if your mind knows that, well, it's just bringing in, you know, like this, filling this program or filling this retreat or whatever that is, if you actually had a finite solution, not to say that that's how it has to show up, but it actually can kind of set our logical mind at ease, right? So that's the second part, is focusing on it. Also want to see, I release this story. So if you're still feeling that too, let us, Deletta just stepped into VIP this month, so we haven't even met yet for a session. So bring that up, and we'll work on that, because there's a part that's also a story. And so we want to release the energy around it and then release the story around it. And then just let it go. And then let's focus all the energy on creating wealth. I create wealth now. Okay. Yes, Deletta says more money coming. Okay, so yeah, and sometimes when you're in a place of like, you're just in a place of like building your business, you know, often just business-wise, you can be investing. And so it's focusing on, okay, how do I create that revenue? And so taking away the shame and the other things that are laden, the other stories that are attached to it, and just looking at it. Joanne asks, so these are great questions. Joanne asks, how can it get passed down generationally? I've done a lot of clearing and energy shifts for years and it works. Yes, and yet I flux with containing it. And also I find that I just hold back from another upgrade for myself. Okay, so it sounds like what you're saying, Joanne, is that you've come up against like a financial ceiling. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And so I know from experience, because I felt the shifts when we've released generational blocks. I have felt, do you ever notice like those patterns that you see this get repeated in the family line? So it gets passed down. Carolyn Cooper talks about it in our emotional DNA, and they have done research. And I can't cite the study right now, but I know I've looked at that, where they've done research that it does get passed down generationally. And so just like you can inherit blue eyes or curly hair, you could inherit it and your sibling or your cousin doesn't inherit it. And so it works very much the same way. So often I would say for you, if you've been doing energy work and you're doing it on your own, perhaps you just have a blind spot or a block that it's requiring, perhaps there's another step for you. Perhaps there's another leap for you. Often, like if we're working on something, like let's say in our business or in our relationship or our health, and we've been working at it for some time and we're not getting the shift, right? We're not getting the result. What I teach is I ask, like, what is not in alignment? What is not in alignment? Or what else? What is the next step? Because you may, I know we've talked before, Joanne, so it may be in your highest wisdom that you are asking for extra support, that you've done enough on your own and now you want extra support, and that this journey, if this is the next step, or with someone else, if this is the next step, that it's going to open up a whole world to you. And if you just figured it out on your own, you wouldn't even be able to, you wouldn't have opened that door. And so I know that that was true for me in my own awakening. I had some family drama and a real challenge to forgive. And I prayed, I released blocks and worked on it daily. And it was so hard to let go. And so I sought extra support. And because of that, it opened up an entire new world to me. And I fully integrated with my higher self. And I am a different person today because of that challenge. But if I had just stayed on the little thing and tried to work on it myself, I wouldn't be in this resonance right now, sharing this with you. So I would ask, like, what is the next step? How can I? Because often it's, I know like one of our clients, Donna, who'd been doing this work for years, energy work, lots of different processes, and her life completely shifted when she stepped into A life. And so there's something very powerful about the work that I facilitate and the collective, and that it is bigger than me and you. And so I would share, like, asking what is next? And Steve says, awesome. Steve said things are getting better. He had some energy work, and we did a session. He said, so that's awesome. Of course. What is the next step for me in aligning to my perfect acting career? Great question. And the first thing I would say is that you have the answers. You are wired. You have that divine blueprint. And so my work and my focus is connecting you to your higher self. That's what we do all year. And I'm not talking about, like, a lot of times we say that we're spiritual, but I'm saying being so dialed in to your inner knowing and releasing whatever's been holding you back. And you're taking quantum leaps on, if not daily, a weekly basis. And so that's a great question. What is the next step? What is the next step? And maybe you just step into A life and receive that catapulted support for you, Steve, this year. Sean asks, and go into meditation and just ask. You can journal, and what you do is, when you write a letter to your angels, write as if it's already happened. Write down what you're creating, and then ask, what is the next step? What is the next step? And then just brainstorm ideas, because our mind wants to kind of get involved. So brainstorm some ideas, and then tune into what it is. And the more we get tuned into a higher self, we just know. We just know. And some of that, I teach more tools to really to tune in. So, because you cannot, when you listen to your higher self, you cannot make mistakes. You cannot. So Sean says, I will keep embracing the energy flow and write. I can rest anytime. Yes, you can rest anytime throughout the day. So just go with that flow. Yes, and when we follow our highest excitement, it's so important. And Joanne says, you're right on. I'm in process of asking that question. What is the next step to my greater resonance with my purpose? As I believe that will allow the clear path to be there as I move forward. Yes, and someone asked, they're like anonymous. Yes, we have about 50 50 clients in A-Life. I keep it, I don't have more than that because I like to keep it intimate. And so that is a great question. What I'll share with you in A-Life Academy, the way we've designed it with the weekly calls, it's tailored energy work, tailored to what is showing up in your life. There's 12, it's monthly private sessions. And most programs you'll see don't have that. And we put that in there because it's just, you know, it's a lot of energy work to have the weekly calls and then the private coaching sessions. And then we have a 4-day mastermind retreat here. And it is a real retreat. A lot of places call it a retreat, but this is a retreat where you tune into the vibration of affluence. What I find is we've been working together all year, and then there's this, you know, this in-person that you go deep in transformation through experiences, through energy work, through letting go, permanently letting go of what no longer serves you. And so it's that power of the mastermind, having, you know, being able to connect to each other on a daily basis in our private group, and then having that retreat. And so if you've been watching this and you've been seeing these go by, we're closing the doors tomorrow night at midnight. And I felt inspired that it is time. It is time. And I was sharing with you one of the things that is my, I would say like I don't know if it's a negative, but it's the part that does break my heart, is when you say that this is the next step and then don't take that next step, because you are so worth it. You are so worth it. So I'm going to see some other questions. We have Aisha says, Aisha says, I say I set healthy boundaries. I find a lot of people offload on me. How do I prevent that? Okay, so I would just set healthy boundaries. First of all, clearing the blocks around it, and just speaking your truth. Often we have energy leaks when we're not speaking our truth. And so speaking our truth and just saying what's coming up for you. But I would also say for that, Aisha, often we can say it. We say that we set healthy boundaries, but the way I work, everything is first energetic. When you shift these energetic patterns, you feel differently. And then what happens is you're like, oh, you're talking to me this way? That doesn't really resonate. I mean, it just doesn't even connect, because it's not who I am. It's not who you are when you change the pattern. One of my clients, she shared that, over the past couple years, she just intuitively got rid of toxic relationships. Even all the contractors she'd hired in her business, she used to have a lot of unhealthy relationships. And now she has contractors who support her, who respect her. She's confident. She tripled the revenue in her business. And so all of it happens when our energy shifts. And that's why often, you're going to go to other programs and, we focus on up here and discipline and will. And first we shift our energy, release the blocks, change the patterns, release the limiting beliefs. And it's like pulling those apart on a weekly basis. So Carla says, I hear so much about focus. I know I do it all the time, but now I want to fully understand focus. I say I want a candy bar that's not at my local store. What I think and feel all the time, how tasty that candy bar is, how thankful I am having the candy bar to focus. Well, okay, so focus is like, when you say, first you create spiritually what you desire. First, it is really important, and this is one of the caveats, is that the caveat is that you are aligned energetically, that it's on purpose for you, that you're talking about a candy bar, but is it on purpose? Is it what you're called to expend your energy? I talk about redefining affluence. When you are aligned, when you are so on purpose, you will find a natural set point of how much stuff you have. You feel satiated. You feel content. You feel peaceful inside. And so you might find you don't even want that candy bar. It doesn't resonate with you. It's not a high vibration because it's got a lot of chemicals in it. I don't know. You'll just intuitively start to know it the more you connect to your body and connect to your intuition. So it's not about just, I'm envisioning $100,000 or $1 million or a multi seven-figure business if it's not aligned energetically with you in what you're called to do. So that's what's so important first. The second part about focus, it's like everything is energy. So when you I use the metaphor of the magnifying glass. When you take a magnifying glass and you are harnessing the energy of the sun and you stand still and put that over a leaf when it's like kind of dry, that can create a spark and create a fire. But often what I see with a lot, when I talk to so many thousands of people, energy is like all over the place, dissipated. And that's why you're not getting result. You are powerful. Focus your energy. Focus, focus, focus. First, make sure what you're asking for is what your higher self desires. And then from that place, then take that energy and focus it on that. So there's a lot to, we talk about law of attraction. I mean, I teach about the divine laws of affluence, and it is the higher law. It supersedes these other laws. And so it's not just manifesting for the sake of manifesting. It's manifesting so that you're manifesting what is so on purpose for you. And so I'd have to, kind of gave an example, but I'd have to see like really what's going on. If we were coaching together, see what's going on in your life and where you need to focus. Often I can just tell by how you're writing about your life, what you're posting about, how you're talking about it, where are the energy leaks. And so as we contain it, then you're able to get traction. And so I'm all about acceleration. As one of my clients, I don't know if Alan's on today, as he was sharing, he said 1 year in A life was equivalent to 30 years of transformation. And so that is the intention. And so if you're not ready for that kind of transformation, if you're not ready to fully commit and step into your vision, then yes, you're right. A life is not the next step. But if you want to ensure that you are not in the same place a year from now, you want that support, you want to get rid of forever whatever has been holding you back, then A Life Academy is the next step. And what we have here, I think there'll be an email right after, is a commit to your vision call, because the program is closing tomorrow night. And so it's a $500 commit to your vision call. It's a deposit. If it'll be an interview, because we're very selective about who we invite into A life, because everything is resonance. And so if you are a good fit, if we know that you are a contributor, if you are committed to your vision, and I believe, I know that I can assist you to step into your vision, then I will invite you into A life. And if not, we'll refund your $500 deposit if it's not a good fit. One of the things in A Life Academy, and is that we offer a better than your money back guarantee, because I'm so confident that you get results. And so for those, it's a big investment. It's a big commitment. And I know I've spent thousands, invested thousands and thousands in graduate school, probably 40,000 in therapy, and I wasn't much better for it. I'm still alive, so it did save my life to have some support, but it didn't shift me energetically. At the time, I still felt screwed up. This is a $12,500 investment that radically transforms your life and increases your money flow, opens you up to job opportunities, opens you up to love. I have clients that's healed their marriage, who've, women in their 50s that have always been a procrastinator and are no longer that. Actually, one of our clients who now she studied interior design. So Renee asks, how do we know when we are connected with our higher self? Oh, that's a great question. Sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself, and I think, is it ego talking? Okay, so beautiful question. So one of the things that we do is a practice. It's something I learned from a friend, Jen Rohde, is to journal, is to write down the voice says. The voice is your ego. And don't say I, but say the voice says, you should do this. The voice says you're too fat. The voice says you shouldn't eat this. The voice says you're never gonna make it. The voice says, whatever the voice says, write it down. And then write down afterwards, what does higher self say? Because it's important to do this daily, because I want you to start to recognize the pattern. The voice usually talks a lot. At least my voice talks a lot. So there's like a lot of this chatter, and we'll go in circles, and well, he should have been doing this, and like analyzing the situation. Higher self, my higher self, and I believe perhaps that your higher self is the same, is very concise, speaks truth. You are amazing. You can do this. Go here. Make that phone call. Say this. It's very simple. Very simple. And so you feel better. You feel inspired. You feel powerful. So also notice what your feelings are. But I suggest that you practice this activity daily so you can start to see, wow, first of all, that voice is not very nice. The ego is not always very nice, and it's going on all the time. And then eventually what happens as we become integrated, so my vision, especially we're holding our retreat for A-lifers in May in Costa Rica, is to facilitate this integration. So you are fully tapped into higher self all the time, and just shedding what is holding you back. And so that part it takes practice. It takes practice. And that is also, Renee, when you have the mentorship and community to kind of see, it's so hard to do it on our own. I have found. Kim says, I wonder if I have anxiety because the step-by-step is so different from the world standard of how to do life intuitively and of how to do life. Okay, yeah, probably so. If you're listening to the world. No, that sounds good. Sheila says, I have been told that my health issues are because I have too much stress. I'm also an emotional eater. How do I address this stress and this emotional eating on a daily basis to improve my health? Okay. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Sheila, first we got to release the blocks. I struggled with an eating disorder for 20 years. Everything from when I was 13, I was anorexic, to bulimia, compulsive exercising. For 20 years, I did not have peace around my body or peace around food. And that's even, I was hospitalized. I had tons of therapy. That's why I know that A-Life is such a good value. It is such a good value because I have personally invested tens of thousands of dollars on these other avenues, and I was not permanently shifted. And so when you shift, release the blocks that cause the emotional eating and create a new pattern that I'll share with you now, that like I choose foods. One of the patterns that I create and I share with my clients, so I'll share with you right now, is I choose foods for optimum energy. And when I don't, I notice how I feel. So often what happens is it's the cycle of feeling the mind chatter that I'm bad or I'm good. I was bad today, I was good today because I was bad today because I had that brownie. Like, let go of all of that mind chatter. I choose foods for optimum energy, except when I don't, I notice how I feel. This is a pattern. This is a new code. When you are aligned with this, then you make different decisions. When we've imprinted this new code in you, you make different decisions. And so, I mean, we'd have to like unpack that, especially when you get onto a private call, to see like what is creating emotional eating first. I enjoy the sweetness of life. I would say for you also, you're distracting yourself. So what is the truth that you are distracting yourself from? What are you not paying attention to? What is your truth? And often we numb ourselves. We will stay in a relationship that is starving our soul. We'll stay in a relationship that is starving our soul, and then we stuff our face. Or we stay in a job. We surround ourselves with others that are snuffing out our life, our purpose. And so I teach self-love is first. I choose myself first, because it's from that place that we can give to others. And when we self-sacrifice it and lower our vibration under the guise of love, of loving our kids or loving others or caring what others think, we're doing no one any service. And so it's, I think addressing this stress and this emotional eating, yeah, first just releasing the blocks. Let's create a new pattern for you, Sheila. So that is not, it's not there anymore. And then you naturally just choose. That's what I love about energy work. And I designed the A-Life method because it's energy work, and it's so much more, because it's being able to look at all these different levels so that you are consciously designing the life that you desire and that you deserve, that your heart desires. And so it kind of what happens is we go on this sort of pattern because there's something underneath that you are ignoring, or that you're distracting yourself from. And then the stress. If you have too much stress, that also we have to unpack and see. Oh, wait a second. There's someone else. Wait, someone else is trying to come in here. Wait, shoot. Okay, just a second. I was supposed to assign another host. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Now it says my Q&A is now inactive. Okay, it'll be, so for some reason my Q&A is inactive for a second because I think my business manager is on to make sure that we have a thing. But as soon as she gets off, my Q&A should be fine. And so the other part about the stress is being able to set, it's creating first the energetic pattern. I'm setting healthy boundaries. First of all, I'm setting healthy boundaries. And then, oh good, now I can, oh good, now it's working. And then like what I'd have to find out more, Sheila, like what's causing the stress? What is causing the stress? What I teach is how to create a life of ease and flow, following your highest excitement, following your heart, listening to your intuition, because it's from that place that we're able to give more, we're more creative, we create more abundance, we're receptive. So it's super, super important. So yeah, so if you have any other questions for me, I'm just gonna see what else we have going on here. See so many, there's so many great questions I really appreciate. Yeah, oh, Ben says it's 6 a.m. Good, so it's a little bit later for you. Very good. So I'm just gonna tune into the energy here because I think also as I talk about a life, it also just, I think it can bring up stuff. It can bring up triggers if we have thoughts about money, about sales, about just all of different perceptions. So I'm just gonna tune in first. I'm the creator of my own life, living the flow. I see the possibilities all around me and I bring them into my reality. I see the possibilities all around me and I bring them into my reality. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am I'm worthy and deserving. Something's coming up about investing. I'm worthy and deserving of investing in myself. We want to do what we want in this relationship between higher self and ego is that the ego obeys higher self. Higher self says jump and ego says how high. It really is that simple, and it doesn't necessarily happen overnight. It's practice, and that's why we work together for a year, because it's what happens when things show up, events. You start to feel good, you start to feel flow, all these opportunities happen, and then something happens again, and you want to go back to the old pattern, and you don't, because you ensure your success. And we're able to navigate that and see where the blind spot is, release the block, because now you're ready to let go of that block from now on. That is how this works. I just feel something around that. I set healthy boundaries. I set healthy boundaries. When we are so dialed in to higher self, we have the entire map of what we're here to do. It really is simple. My mission is simple. the more of us who connect fully, completely on purpose, connect to higher self, we're so powerful. I teach you first how to release the blocks, how to shift your subconscious and then your conscious programming. That's just the beginning. And then it's learning how to consciously design your reality. Every aspect of your reality. So it's moving from whatever you're settling. Often we settle. We settle for mediocre. We settle for just good enough. And if you are ready to stop settling, if you are ready to create an extraordinary life that makes a difference on this planet, if you are ready to play big, then book a call, step into a life, and ensure that you are a success. Any other questions I want to share? I'm grateful to all of you for all the really wonderful questions that we have. Yes, and one of them is also we have the A-Life Retreat. It's once a year here in Costa Rica. And I think that's all the questions that we have. I'm not seeing any other ones, so sending you all lots and lots of love. I honor you for coming. I want to just these 77 affluence codes. It is a vibrational resonance. We have shifted your vibrational resonance. So notice what comes up for you. Notice how the ego comes into play and wants to get you out of alignment. Notice that. Ask yourself, I'm feeling yeah, what's happened is there's some things, like at least for one person, a trigger has come up. Ask yourself right now, in the beginning I asked you, what is your vision? So ask yourself right now, what is my next step? What is my next step? And then take that action. When you take that action, what I have discovered, and one of the foundations of the work that I do, is that you're either in alignment with what you desire or you're not. And so we just created a new vibrational resonance. And so everything depends upon you staying in that resonance. How can you ensure your success? When you take action, when you take that next step and not overthinking it, what is your heart leaning towards? What is that? When you take that next step, you stay in that vibrational resonance. It really is, it is that simple. And do not feel that this is the next step and then let your mind come into the ego, say, I can't afford this, or come up with reasons. Because then what happens is your world shrinks. Your world shrinks, and we do not want that to happen. What I teach is how to live in that expansive zone where we're living in infinite possibilities, where you remember how powerful you are, where you step into that resonance of, I am the creator of my own life. I consciously design my reality. This is a feeling. And my commitment to you, if you take that next step, is to stay is to assist you in staying more consistently in this resonance. Not perfectly, because I'm not perfectly at it for sure. And if you are willing, if you are so committed to your vision, then find a way to take that next step. Find a way to step into a life, because you are worth it. You deserve it. And sometimes it can be just as simple as writing down 50 ways that are possible. That can kind of open up your mind in terms of like what is success, like open up your minds into all the different possibilities. So yes, so Chandra says, thank you for all you do. Yes, yes. I loved seeing you in Costa Rica. I'm a much better surfer now. And Elizabeth says, thank you for your amazing gift of this session. Oh, so sending you so much love. Keep us posted on your shifts in the Freedom Collective. Sending you so much love too. And Naomi says, thank you, Tara, sending you love. So sending you all so much love. Thank you for your time here. And go back and listen to the replay. If you ever get in a place where you start to doubt yourself again, it's all about our resonance, and you deserve to be supported. I know I would not be here without mentors and without community and without others, because we're human. We need all of the assistance here and beyond the veil that we can get. And if you are feeling inspired, then I am honored. I'm honored to walk this journey with you. I am, because it allows me all the different experiences that I had in my life to turn all of those blocks into gifts. Turn them into gifts. So have an amazing day. Sending you lots of love.